Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. This video is going to be a little bit quicker, but it's still packed full of all the information that you need to know. And of course, I will be live tomorrow giving you guys the update and prediction on where we need to be and where we are headed. Guys, I think AMC is possibly setting up for a move. We're going to look at that and talk about the possible breakout points, times, and dates that we could be looking at. And we're going to be looking at SPY because I think the bottom could be falling out at any minute. We're going to be looking at all of that and more in this video. This video is not financial advice. Go ahead and subscribe to join the DataZero family and start getting these keys and getting these accurate predictions. And as always, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on.
All right, guys, what is up? This is your daily update and prediction, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker video. I do want to need to get through this, but this video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. This is your daily update and prediction. I'm going to give you guys the levels of support, and again, this is going to be a quicker video. We're going to go through SPY, AMC, and GME. You guys already know how I feel about the macro. I think we're in the 2008 fractal pattern. I do think we're going to get one more bounce, possibly above the white sloping resistance before finally capitulating. If you go ahead and look at what we're looking at right here, we're following the pattern exactly. It looks like we're getting that final bounce to the upside where we could go to about 417 before hitting our head and moving back down. I do think we are going to see a bounce tomorrow, possibly going as high as 415 or 417. You do want to watch, because if we do break above 415.77, then we are going to retest that 417 level. If we can get above 417, then you could see a decent push to the upside, but in my personal opinion, we are going to hit our head on 417. 69, possibly a little bit higher before capitulating to the downside. Now this could happen Friday or next week. I'm thinking Friday might be the day where we bounce to the upside coming up, and then next week, Monday or Tuesday, is when we're going to see the overall capitulation. But guys, you can believe what you want, you can do what you want, but I believe that we are setting up for a massive crash. I am holding SQQQ, and I am holding that position, and it is in profit as of right now, and it has been doing very well. Levels of support for SPY are going to be at 412. If 412 breaks and acts as resistance, so if we break below 412 and this acts as resistance, you're going to see a lot more downside. SPY is in a very dangerous place where the bottom can break out and this thing could start tanking at any minute. So if you do play any upside plays, you want to be careful because a rug pull could happen at any minute. But again, it does look like we're getting a decent bounce here in after hours. That's very natural because RSI is extremely oversold. When RSI is oversold like this, it is natural to get bounces. You can see that the MACD is starting to curl up, so I do believe Friday could potentially even be a green day. But again, watch, because rug pulls could happen at any minute. And again, I do believe we're going to be making one more push up before this final capitulation to the downside. You can see in the 2008 fractal we broke below, then we came back up, briefly breaking back above before the capitulation to the downside. And you can also see that that happened right around the end of October. So again, I do think we are setting up for something very similar in my personal opinion. I know it is a bold statement to say that we're going to have a massive 2008 style crash, but I do believe that is what we are setting up based off the charts, the facts, the data, the massive bear flag, also the market cycle psychology chart, letting you know that we are going to be seeing a lot more downside. I can't pull it up right now because, okay, right now I thought my VPN was going to maybe mess it up, but again, you guys can see that there is a lot more downside left in store in my personal opinion, because I do believe we are in the complacency stage. And if you go ahead and zoom out, you guys can see that it matches that chart exactly. And then we also have this massive macro bear flag. We have the monthly MACD starting to curl down. We have the weekly MACD showing that is bearish, the daily MACD showing it is bearish, and again on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame we have an overall downtrend as we continue to make lower lows and lower highs. So I do think the bottom is going to be falling out very shortly. I do think Friday we could potentially be seeing a little bit of recovery, but this thing could get its legs pulled out on Friday. You want to be watching the levels of 412 and 411.63, because if we do break below these and use these as resistance, you are going to be seeing a major dump to the downside on SPY. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. I do think that if obviously SPY gets a little bit of a pump to the upside, you will see pullback on SQQQ. But I do think SQQQ overall macro is bullish. We're breaking out of the inverse head and shoulders, and I do believe we're going to be coming up to fill these gaps very, very shortly. Let's go ahead and show you guys some of the news that is coming out. The news that we do have to worry about for tomorrow is going to be core PCE, price index, personal income spending month over month, and personal spending month over month. These all come out at 8:30. So if you do see the market take a dump early in pre-market, you know that these numbers were bad and did affect the market. Now, if they do come out decent, it could give the market a little bit of room to run to the upside. But again, it will be short-lived because there's so much going on that you will see more downside, in my personal opinion. I do think that these numbers actually might come out bad and affect the market in a bad way. And then next week we also have unemployment coming out and the Fed rate decision, which could be very, very detrimental in my personal opinion. Let's go ahead and look at GameStop. Showing you guys what's going on for GameStop, where I think we could be headed, and what I think is going to be happening next. So if you go ahead and look at GameStop, GameStop is breaking out of a falling wedge. We do have this falling wedge here. I think GameStop is going to be able to get a pop to the upside because it is breaking out of this falling wedge. You probably want to see it retest this a couple more times, maybe even when the market opens. Give this a quick retest before getting a bounce. But if it does retest this and get a bounce off of this level and use this wedge as support, you're going to see a nice push to the upside back to that $14 level, possibly even that $15 level, especially if you can break above $14.45. That is going to be the key support and resistance for GameStop to get above, because if it does break above it, that's going to be a nice push to the upside. Now, as far as GameStop is concerned on the macro, guys, I do think GameStop is going to recover. I think that this is making a triple bottom. I think that this is going to be a spring. I think that it is carving out a bottom, and we are going to see a big push to the upside. I've already told you guys multiple times that when the RSI on the weekly time frame is this low, that is a very good sign. This is where buyers are going to be stepping in, especially on the macro time frame, and this is where you want to be accumulating at these low prices. That way you can sell at the top. You always want to buy the bottom. That way you can sell the top, and there are multiple gap fills for GameStop to the upside at 16, at 18, at 30. There are so many gap fills that I can't even mark them all. RSI is extremely low. So as far as I'm concerned, GameStop is looking like a good buy. I did accumulate some more GameStop, and just like my SQQQ trade and my Bitcoin trade, I do think it is going to be working out very, very well. I did accumulate AMC the same way, and I will be selling off during these price points when we hit these gap fills. Again, I think AMC is going to be a very good trade in my personal opinion as well. Levels of support for GameStop that we're going to be looking at for tomorrow. We do want to see if GameStop can stay above 1350. If it can hold that level, then it's going to be extremely bullish. I do expect a possible retest of 1342 and maybe even 1330. Again, we might be retesting this sloping resistance right here before getting a break to the upside, but this is a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, letting us know that we can get a push to the upside. If you go ahead and look at the 1 hour MACD, we're starting to get candles that are green, and again, this is letting us know that GameStop is consolidating, getting ready to make a move to the upside. I think AMC is basically in the same boat, consolidating, getting ready to make a move to the upside. You can see that it broke out of the falling wedge and is currently retested it several times today. I think probably tomorrow AMC is actually going to be able to get a decent push to the upside, but you want to watch because they're going to try to manipulate this thing to $9, because AMC's max pain is $9, and that is where the market makers make the most money. I believe that if we do get manipulated to $9, that we could see a decent push on Monday or Tuesday, because we are breaking out of this wedge and we are consolidating at this higher level here above this $9 level, and as long as we can maintain above $9, I think we're setting up for the move to get to this gap fill. I think we're probably going to go for this gap fill next week, in my personal opinion. I think we could see AMC up as high as $11 to $12 next week, as crazy as that sounds. I do want to see a little bit more price action, but based off of this pattern right here of making higher lows and higher highs, I think it is setting up, consolidating here to make a push to the upside, and that would make perfect sense, as we did consolidate here, make a big push to the upside, and now we're consolidating here, and it's going to make another push to the upside. Also, guys, when the market absolutely capitulates, when there's actual panic setting in, I'm talking about panic. I'm talking about the market going crazy, Wall Street, people on the phone trying to ring up their brokers, getting people to sell, actual panic. That's when I believe we could also see an event for AMC as well, especially with all the stuff going on with the banking crisis. This will definitely help AMC because a lot of banks do hold AMC short positions. If you look, they have been trying to hold it down. I do think they're going to try to manipulate this thing to the very end. If we can get above $10, we have a very, very decent gamma ramp. In order to get to $10, we do need to break above $9.45 and use that as support. We do have a potential chance of doing that with breaking out of this falling wedge. You could see a push to the upside, coming above $9.45, retesting that, and that could give us our push to $10. If we can maintain at $10, you could see a nice gamma ramp. Tomorrow's going to be a fight because it's Friday, guys. So be ready for it. Be ready for anything. But if we can start to get that momentum, it will be too much momentum for them to stop, guys. So we will see what happens. They do not have full control over the stock. They can help manipulate it, but they don't have full control. If they did, it would be at $0. But it looks like we were tested this falling wedge, and it looks like we're actually going to get ready to make this move Friday and possibly through Monday and Tuesday. I am thinking that AMC is going to be able to pull off a bullish day tomorrow, and this is what I'm looking at for AMC. And as far as the macro is concerned, when in doubt, zoom out. RSI under 30 on the weekly time frame with the weekly MACD curling up. Once we get the weekly MACD to flip, that is going to be extremely bullish, and I do think we are coming up to fill this first gap fill, and then later on we're going to be filling these two gap fills. But this is pretty much everything that I'm looking at. Sorry that I did have to rush through this video, guys, but this is pretty much all of the information that you do need to know. Again, I will be live with you guys tomorrow, walking you through step by step. I'm going to go ahead and make a pre-market prediction. I do think it's basically going to be a little bit flat with an uptrend, but we will go ahead and make a pre-market prediction for you guys, so you do have an idea of what we could potentially expect pre-market. I do think we're going to be trying to trend up, and if we do trend up like this, this is going to be bullish, guys. I honestly think, even though tomorrow's Friday, we have a chance of breaking above $9.50 and getting towards that $10 level. It's gonna be a battle, but this is what I'm thinking is a very, very potentiality, especially with the breakout of this wedge that we are seeing. And again, we have multiple bullish signs with the super trend and a lot of stuff going on. So guys, I do think we're setting up for something. Again, I know it sounds crazy. I know you're probably tired of hearing it. You're probably tired of waiting, but I can only tell you what the charts tell me, and it looks like the market is right on the edge of getting ready to absolutely just capitulate. It looks like AMC is actually curling up and winding up for setting up for a move. It looks like GameStop is in the middle of building its base out of the nastiest spring that I ever seen on a Wyckoff accumulation, and it looks like SQQQ is breaking out of its massive inverse head and shoulders and about to go up and fill its gap. And of course, Bitcoin is consolidating. If it does pull back, I am going to be buying more, but it looks like it's probably going to try to make a move even higher past this 35K. If it doesn't and pulls back, I'm definitely going to be buying more. The bull run will be happening in 2024 in my personal opinion, and so far Bitcoin is up 100% for the year. But guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. If you did find the video informative, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and remember, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
Alright, y'all, that's the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.